Welcome back, everybody, to the Naked Hour here on the ShadowWalking Group 2. Um,
Jesus.
we've discovered that the resort is a naturalist spa resort hotel sort of thing, which means that everybody has. I mean, I guess I could give you guys a pair of sandals because it's just raw foot safety, right? Um, but with the exception
Mm,
of that, their only things they might have is a little bit of jewelry and a towel, because I remember stumbling across something somewhere where they were talking about a nudist colony and mentioned that everybody has towels because the idea is that you put them down and then you sit on your towel rather than sit on all the stuff so you don't get your butt juice everywhere from, you know, swamp ass or
Makes
whatever.
sense.
Um, we are here for the Saturday night bonfire, which is kind of a welcoming, kind of just like a celebration thing that is going to take place in the center of the resort. I should just stick to one word, and we're going to stick with resort because that's what I just came across. Um, some of the murmurs are going to be that there's going to be a banquet. They're going to welcome the people that have just arrived. Misty herself is going to be there giving some kind of speech that Rob is not going to give because he doesn't write speeches and doesn't know enough about hippie bullshit to make a speech believable. Um,
Oh,
I mean, I could just Google some hipster stuff if you guys want to take five again, but
I'd rather play.
exactly.
yep.
Um, the good news is it'll be easy for Grog to find the other people because he has a distinct height advantage, and the five of you will meet back up. Let's say 20 minutes, half hour before the bonfire is set to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to inform everybody that I have an appointment tomorrow with Misty Day and a massage.
All right.
And that I have a plan.
Ooh.
I want to. In the meantime, I want to stash my knife in my room.
Sure,
That would be smart.
you can totally do that
Yeah.
because you have a significant period of time where you're just left alone. You guys will notice that you're all just kind of left alone. Like nobody comes into. Oh, you guys haven't been here a day, but nobody really is like gonna come in and turn down your sheets and do all that other kind of bullshit because there's no real restocking of your toiletries. It's like don't need to get you new towels because you don't use towels. They don't need to restock your mini fridge because there's like a common area where you can just go get food. Like the bar, they didn't charge you for drinks, and
Yes, this is
they didn't
nice.
have any like beer, but they do have like some honey mead and some other very uh locally brewed kind of stuff. Some fruit wines, that kind of thing. Nothing like processed, and not a single bit of soy in the entire place.
The way it's meant to be.
Right? Are you guys just meeting out somewhere outside in the air quotes wilderness, or are you gonna go back to somebody's room and have a somewhat
I
private
mean,
chat?
Wait, are you
have
telling me that these hippies are not eating tofu?
Correct.
I mean, yeah, seems that way.
Whoa.
That's like bean curd, right?
it is.
Essentially, yeah.
It's not that bad. I tried it a couple of times. You
Oh,
just
I
gotta
love
cover it
tofu.
with ketchup, and it's like scrambled eggs.
Sounds about right.
I mean, I'm taking a piss on them, but I'm a vegan myself, so.
Oh man. So yeah, you guys are.
I mean, we could meet in Grog's, Katie's, and Val's room because they're all intertwined. So
Sure.
have a large place.
You are private to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just you and the bugs in the walls.
Yep, that's what I was thinking about. Right now, we have no way to discover any bugs. We don't know if we are being listened to. So
You
let's
have
just.
not seen any electronics.
Yeah, but that's the thing with bugs, you know.
Or the astral
Yeah.
perceptions.
All right. So
It's
Tiff, you
best
said you had
not to
plan?
talk about business, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I will remind you guys that since we had 2 new people, I did tell you guys that I was going to go easier on some things, just so we kind of learn about each other and how we all think and act. I am not going to fill the walls with listening devices on you when you have 0 way to deal with them, because that's not cool.
Fair enough.
Yay!
Meta knowledge rewind. So let's talk about business.
When I said bugs, I meant actual bugs with multiple legs and pincers and
Animals.
stingers.
Wilderness things.
Yeah.
Nice. So, since Katie has a massage appointment the next day with Misty Day, I'm pretty sure that I don't get to have a one-on-one. So
No, several of those other ladies are definitely coming.
No, exactly. So I am thinking of creating some sort of stress or some sort of ache that won't be relieved by normal massages. So I want to ask Misty Day if she can give me personally one-on-one time alone. Because, I'm hurting and...
You're just gonna hit on her, okay?
No. I mean, I could, yeah, but I'm thinking something like, oh, the massage was great, but I'm still super sore. I'm actually, like, my shoulders and whatever is, like, could we have, like, a one-on-one session where you help me out with these things? Because I've heard that you're the best.
Well, quick question: how long are in our invitations valid? I
You
mean,
have a week.
how long are we staying?
That's up to you.
Oh,
You have a week, and it'll take a couple of hours from the time you call the plane man for the plane man to get here.
okay. I mean,
I'll-
let's enjoy it a little bit then.
Alternatively, I was thinking that since Katie did get us she got her a massage. I assume maybe 1 or 2 of us could tag along while we're there. Talk, con or seduce. I have seduction and fast talking. Hint, hint. Misty into joining us for a private dinner, where I'm sure she'd be watched, but maybe we could set up a extraction plan beforehand. I mean, a private dinner doesn't seem like a odd request for fans of her work.
Yeah, but I'm still concerned about how we're gonna do the actual thing because, well, good thing is I haven't seen any armed guards around, so I mean that's a plus. But there is probably plenty of magic security, and I can't deal with any of them. I'm pretty sure of that. So, like, right now, I feel like I'm the only one that can actually deal some damage to someone, except with fists, of course, but at a distance.
I mean, we're gonna have to deal with it regardless of what we do if we're gonna get close to her. So maybe if we time it well, we can time the extraction plane with the kidnapping.
We're leaving most of our stuff here then.
We can buy more stuff.
Yeah, but I mean,
30,000
some-
million goes a long way for stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, we're losing. We're gonna be losing. Yeah, most of the gear we brought, and that means losing. Yeah, maybe for some of us, some IDs that we kind of use, like.
All right, so we'd have to have our gear ready beforehand.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, this is something we're gonna have to deal with.
We need a very good excuse to go back because I'm pretty sure someone just going, oh, I need to get something from my locker. They'll be like, oh, we can get it for you. You don't have to leave the premises.
You did
Yeah.
lock your stuff under biometric locks.
Oh,
It
that's
is-
true.
It is our access.
What kind of biometrics were they?
They could just be fingerprints. Something nice, simple, unintrusive, just like a thumbprint, or no, we'll go with a full hand.
Oh,
Or in
Maybe
Grog's
we could
case,
have
4
a-
fingers.
So,
do
yeah,
they
maybe,
have?
Maybe before doing the actual run, we might need to go to our lockers and then take our stuff, and with that stuff, do the run.
Do they have crafting classes? I'm
Uh,
thinking pottery here.
They would totally have pottery. Most of your
Great.
dishes are probably going to be pottered, whatever that word is.
So
This
we
is a fancy place. Can I get some pottery clay delivered to my room for some personal pottery time?
Um, you could probably ask around about that tomorrow because they're gonna have to get you a whole wheel for you to throw it on.
Wonderful.
okay. So far, what I like is I can start talking to Misty Day, start befriending her, and then I can introduce her to the group. Mainly, I want to say Ike and Tilt because they're the smooth talkers, and
You know
from
what's
there
up.
we can.
From there,
Yeah, I mean, if she's friendly with us, we can. It is going to be certainly easier to get her alone.
Oh, we'll make her friendly.
And there you exactly. But so far so good, I guess, with a plan.
Yeah, so like Val was worried about, we gotta get our
I'm working on that.
gear.
Gear, but
We gotta
Tilt's working
time
on
the
that.
extraction, and we gotta find out. I mean, how are we gonna get her out? We're gonna drug her. I assume we could knock her out. I guess.
I have a
You-
pen full of gamma scopoline.
Right. Thank you.
Well,
And
I've
then
got some Leo in my suitcase.
okay.
Grog is the only one with the comm link for the plane, so I guess because he got it from Ozir, so I guess Grog's in charge of that.
that's back in the lockers, but there was definitely a satellite link there that you could potentially make a phone call from their stuff or set your stuff up with it to make
Okay.
to reach the greater matrix.
Okay, so any ideas on how we get our stuff?
Walk back and get it.
Yeah, that's just what we're gonna do at the favor of the night before we act, I guess.
I mean, I was gonna get some pottery clay, make some imprints of everybody's hand. It's just a handprint.
Yeah. So one person gathers the gear while the other people fast
Yeah.
talk or subdue Misty.
Yeah.
Yep, subduing Misty sounds about right.
In case nobody picked up why I decided to randomly interject about pottery.
I know, I totally got that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see how that goes.
That doesn't sound really good coming from the GM.
I mean,
Professional
unless they've added
curiosity.
some
Interaction
really
is what it is.
crazy bullshit to fingerprint scanners. I worked with those at Disney. I know how they work.
Manny, I'm not the kind of person that's just going to tell you that the plan's not going to work. I'll let the dice decide that.
That's fine.
Like, if Tilt rolls really badly on that upcoming artisan pottery test. Tilt, do you have karma laying around?
I probably do.
Because if you do, you could totally take some pottery classes and spend a point to get spend some karma to get artisan, and then not have to default on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
But
That's good,
that
that's
can
all.
be tomorrow's problem.
That's tomorrow's problem.
So we're going. So is it? So we're. This conversation's over. We go into the feast.
That's up to you guys. You guys can converse as much as you like that you feel takes up about 20 minutes to a half hour. Or you could skip the feast and continue to plot. But that,
Oh no! Katie wants to see the mark.
Yep.
feast or plotting?
I'm feast.
I think-
Feast.
Yeah, I think we've got our plan more or less laid out. We can flesh out some details if we need to as we go.
What's loud?
So as it gets later in the night and the sun actually goes down for realsies, some tribal drums. I was thinking I shouldn't call them that because that might be offensive, but fuck them.
Yep.
Some tribal drums are going to kick up. Some people are going to come out, and they're actually going to be wearing outfits, not like clothes, but more of like costumes. They're still mostly naked. It's just they have a couple of different accentuating things on them to really tell some kind of weird hippie story that I don't really know.
Maybe it's just body paint.
Yeah, I feel like it's something a little bit more physical than body paint, but body paint will totally be involved as well.
Okay.
After about 10 minutes or something, the music will kind of die down, and there'll be, the fire has gotten nice and large by this point. Um, you will see Misty herself come up. She is naked and begin to make all kinds of speeches, proclamations about a little bit about history about the place, a little bit of what you can kind of expect here, naming some of the events that are coming up, um, how happy she is to meet everybody, the uh, the plan going forward is to kind of use what they have learned here and use that money that this place gains to help revitalize other troubled or um, less hospitable parts of the world, and turn the entire world into an oasis, as it were. Um, she will introduce by name the rest of her staff, so you guys will now get to see everybody that she names on her staff. It looks like there's about 20 people here. Um, doesn't really give them like their titles, but just kind of introduces them by their names. Um,
I'm taking a good look at every one of them, and yeah, about what they're wearing. If I can see
well, they're
any
wearing nothing.
thing that looks. Sorry.
They're wearing nothing.
Oh, nothing. Like yeah, I mean talismans or things that
Okay.
I don't know. Cheat tattoos.
Tattoos.
Like,
roll
yeah.
me a perception, and we'll see how well you can pick that kind of stuff out.
All right.
So in the lights, it's kind of hard to make out details. Many of them have body paint on from the little bit of the celebration and stuff. So that could be covering up some tattoos, or it could be part of like their actual tattoos. You will notice that Misty has a couple of flowers in her hair, whether or not they are um, live flowers or jewelry flowers that may be a foci or fetish or something along those lines. You can't really tell. Um, there is.
I'm gonna roll magic traditions just to make sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
This looks like hippie druid stuff.
All right.
And there is an orcish woman here who just there's something about her that's just kind of itching your brain. You can't kind of figure out. Has a bit of a green cast to her skin. Could be body paint. Could be her actual skin. It's kind of hard to tell in this situation.
Okay.
Is she close to Misty?
She is one of like so like on her
Entourage?
introduction, she goes like left, right, left, right, left, right, and she is in one of the first four that she introduces. Probably the second one on her, like starts with her right, then her left. She's the second one on her right that she introduces.
Second one on her right. Okay.
Yeah. Let me.
I gave a little bit of an elbow to Grog and tell him, if you have to, I would say that if you have to worry about somebody in a physical fight, that would be her.
Grog is
Okay.
stunned by her beauty, apparently.
Perhaps.
By no means. Just watching everything that's going on, paying attention.
Paying extra attention. Since I delineated her as something special, I will name her. Dun dun dun. Her name is Heather.
Okay. Can we like make mental notes? Are they like discernible now? The employees, like if we see them out on the resort, we'll know that they're employees.
In a in a criminally relevant situation, there may be a memory test involved to see if you remember them, because it's still kind of, um,
It's still dark.
late at night, bonfire, a lot of stuff going on, but you'll at least have the chance to recognize them as employees, and it's not going to be a very high memory test.
Okay.
Do you guys want to do anything? Ask any questions about the bonfire? The feast is all vegan, not vegan stuff, fruits,
Is
vegetables, salad.
Misty hanging around?
She's kind of hanging around with her entourage and some of the. You'll notice one or two of the women who you are in the pool with will go up to her while she is there with her people, and she seems moderately friendly with them.
She's amicable and approachable.
So far, seems to be.
Is there anything special burning in the bonfire?
Do you have any kind of appropriate, like, are you talking about, like, is there the burned out husk of the previous person who tried something in there, or are you talking like special
Wow.
flowers or something?
No, I'm talking like something that would be like a chemical or hallucinogen, that kind of thing. Any funky smells other than basic just wood burning.
How much campfire exposure does Grog have?
Well, I'm used to burning a lot of shit. I'll tell you that much, just because of previous humanist gigs.
Lots of cross burnings.
Yeah,
Not
but I mean, I
anything
don't have
that
anything
pops up to Grog's
specialized
nose.
with that. Okay.
Do you guys want to pass from the bonfire into the next day, or do you want to?
As Misty is moving around and mingling with people,
Mhm.
is her entourage following her, or are they letting her do what she will on her own?
It seems as though for the most part, like after thing is done, hoorays, eat, etc. Takes a couple of minutes, but she will eventually just kind of break off with Heather. Um, Bump
Are there
into
any dwarves in her entourage?
uh probably one. There's probably a male dwarf somewhere in that list of employees, because I will be racist and say that dwarves are good at building things. So he probably was some kind of like engineer or something to create some of the strange shenanigans that are going on here.
I'm actually okay with this. Can I go talk to him?
Absolutely.
Yay!
Does anybody else want to do anything interesting?
I'm just gonna keep an eye on what's going on around us and maybe keep track of what Misty is doing, what she's paying attention to. If
Sure.
if they try to, check on any particular set of plants here, any, more often than not.
Is this the kind of thing where the whole of you have kind of like, all right, guys, we're gonna break up, we're gonna get some recon, and everybody's gonna kind of just stake out different areas and kind of track her as she moves about? Or
That would make sense to me, but
Well, we'd especially pay attention to the people around her and try to see who are obviously guards or, goons.
if you guys want to roll if everybody Katie wants to roll a perception test, and we'll see how many total hits you guys get, and then I'll give you guys a giant pile of information throughout the course of the night. Meanwhile, Katie, you're going to
before I go talk to him, I wanna. Is Tilt still wearing his hat?
You know it.
I want him to. I want him to come with me to speak with the dwarf.
Sure thing.
All right, so tilt hits won't count for stalking Misty through the crowd. How many did you guys get with that? 3, 7.
Ignore the second roll that I rolled. I accidentally hit the button twice.
You and your buttons. All right, so we got 8, and Val has Val, can you roll a quick perception as you guys stalk her through the crowd?
I,
Hey, Rob, I gotta step away real quick. Something's going on upstairs.
Sure.
I gotta go check it
I'll
out real
handle
fast.
Katie first then, and then I'll handle the rest of you at once.
Yeah.
Or Katie and Tilt.
Katie,
So Katie and
that's
Tilt,
12.
do you guys want to? What's your Katie? Do you want to talk to Tilt about what your plan is? Because I don't know what your plan is, unless
Yeah,
you thought he was cute.
No. I want, since Tilt's
It's a small
wearing
bit.
his hat, I want to approach the dwarf. And since you said that he's good at building things, I want to talk to him about him building this place because Tilt, the Sultan, who's apparently the only man wearing a hat here,
He
is
is.
considering building something really expensive.
I love everything about this. Do you have like an etiquette or a conversation based skill here?
I have etiquette 3.
Okay. I want you to roll either your structural engineering or your etiquette, whichever is let's go with higher
Yeah,
with your
building layouts is higher.
with your
Oh,
with your charisma as you talk shop. And we'll
Yep,
see how
okay.
that goes.
can I teamwork?
Sure. You can teamwork a little bit.
That's 8.
Let him roll his thing because he'll give you some bonus dice.
4 bonus dice.
There you go.
Okay. God damn it.
You
Oh,
have
4 bonus
edge.
dice.
Yeah. So roll your 4 more dice, and then we'll see what we want to do.
That's 4 more.
Okay.
Jesus.
You have 4 hits. I will remind you that you have edge that you can spend. That will allow you to re-roll all of your failures if you want to get them in addition to the 4 hits.
I am not sure how that works. I have 5 edge, apparently.
You can.
Go ahead.
So you spend 1 edge, so you have 4 edge left, and then you just roll 8 dice again, and those get added to the hits you already did.
Okay.
It
Because
is
Yeah,
you
let's
rolled
do that.
12 dice, and
It
then
is not a
4
permanent
dice.
reduction. You will get 1 point of edge back every day that a day of rest and a
Nice
good
meal.
night's sleep and a meal. So
So I get to roll 8 again, right?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, what is happening?
no, that's fine. That's 6.
That's
a good
6.
number.
I mean, when you take into account that I rolled, what is that?
20.
20 die, and I got 6, it's not very good.
I mean,
that's
that's actually pretty
1/3.
close to a third, yeah.
I mean, okay, I guess.
Katie speaks English, or
Yes, English
Okay.
and Japanese.
All right. So he will be having a conversation in English because I think that's what Misty started off speaking. So she probably pulled those people together because that's easy. He is sitting at one of the smaller snack tables, not like one of the big ones, eating some fruit and stuff. And as he sees you approaching with Tilt kind of in tow, he's gonna lean off of the table, kind of stand up straight, and get a smile on his face as he pops a grape into his mouth. Oh, my lucky day! Somebody who I don't have to talk to their junk. How are you doing?
I am doing well, fine sir. What about you?
This is the easiest conversation on my neck I have had all day. Can I get you something?
A drink would be lovely, thank you.
Like, just a moment, and he'll kind of like wave somebody down who was like, he has a big towel over his arm, and he also has like one of the little server towels and a tray. And he'll come over, he'll offer you some fruit wines or some of their meat or that kind of stuff. Take your order, and then go on off to fulfill that order. So, how do you like the place? I designed and built almost every aspect of it. poofy smile.
It is absolutely marvelous. I've only been here the one day, and I'm completely in love. I don't think I ever want to leave this place. The design is impeccable.
I am sure it's not just in love with me, but yes, the design is fantastic. Are you in the field?
No, I am just a very and I just love buildings. I wish I had learned how to be an architect, but I'm just an enthusiast. Maybe you could show me the ropes. Maybe you could show me things around this place. I just love buildings. I wish I was a little more educated on that.
Tilt, how are you feeling about this conversation going down below your belt?
I want to sit down.
Sure, you can get a little stool, and kind of sit down and enjoy whatever it is you're eating / drinking. And when you do, the dwarf will like, he'll like look at you, eyes will flick up to the hat, look at Katie, and then like, my liege.
Thank you, dear servant.
He'll look back to Katie when he says to your servant, and then, okay. I do want to point out this is not a big bushy beard dwarf, because that would look really weird when your upper chest is pale because it gets no sun, and the rest of you is a bronzed Greek god. He has mutton chops.
Nice.
Are they friendly?
I mean, he seems pretty friendly so far.
I mean, that's a style of mutton chops.
No, I
It has a mustache that connects them.
sure, that makes him slightly more ridiculous.
Thank you.
I did not know that was a thing. Friendly
neither,
mutton
right?
chops.
Is it friendly because they hold hands?
I think so.
Okay, I can
Okay.
see that. So yeah, you guys is Grog, you back?
I don't think so.
Nope. Somebody's in deep trouble.
Yep,
Hopefully everything's
someone's-
okay. So I'll focus on Katie for a little while until I get to the other three of you guys. What would you like to know about this place? Because after like a honey mead or two, this guy is all about talking about how great his designs are, and you can get a pretty good layout of whatever you want to know out of him towards building your own palace. He promises
Okay.
you a palace, by the way.
Excellent. See, Toad, I got
'Cause
you a
it's-
palace.
It is all that is appropriate for a sultan. As he bows again.
This hat's
Yeah.
more useful than I would have ever imagined.
It's almost like I plan these things out.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
plan these things out. They just kind of happen around me, and I accept them.
That's why I'm here.
Um,
I plan for you.
Okay, so the first thing I want to know is, how did, like, the first thing it would be some like, I don't know, so many opportunities, and now I'm drawing a blank.
So I'll throw out a couple of ideas. The only thing he didn't have a hand in actually designing is Misty's actual abode. He doesn't have anything
Like
to
her
do with that.
dormitory.
Yeah, like he built the building and he ran a pipe up to it, but that's all that he knows about it.
Are
As
you
he
saying
says
that?
that.
Sorry,
No, go ahead. No, go
just real quick, I want to verify the way you it might have just been wording. Is her residence separate from the building? Like, is it its own?
The there's a 2-story building over there that he'll kind of thumb at throughout the course of the night, which is the one with the balcony,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and the singular
I'm
front
back.
door.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back, Rog. That is Misty's house. Outside of like the base structure, he knows nothing about it because that was part of the agreement when Misty brought him onto this project. And he was super excited about getting in on this project because he's doing more or less the impossible.
As he says that, Katie wants to drop a gasp, and in the spirit of knowing more information about Misty's quarters, be like, they didn't let you finish your entire building? I bet that must have sucked. what led up to that moment? Like, what is around there that she wouldn't want you to build in there after such masterful display of architecture?
He'll go on with about some hippy dippy bullshit to where the balcony is facing the. Grog, does the sun still rise in the east over there? Right. I don't know if the
Yes, it
hemisphere's
does.
bullshit. Okay,
Yeah,
just
yes,
making
it
sure
still
because
rises the same place.
I know Australia's like upside down and stuff. Um, their toilets flush the wrong way. It's weird.
That's the only difference in
Okay.
Australia.
Um, the balcony faces the east, and the uh, front door, as it does, faces the west. So it's like a sunset bullshit. He's like, it's stupid. It makes no sense. Total fire hazard if the place were ever to catch on fire. I'm going to give you you and Tilt a couple of minutes to talk about some questions that you could come up with if you want to use the chat while I go on to the other three guys to drop 12 hits worth of knowledge of them stalking her throughout the crowd.
Like a boss.
So the first thing you're going to know, I'm also going to go ahead and assume that after the feast dies down, you guys are going to get together and share this, so I don't have to say, Grog, you learn this. Val, you learn this. Ike, you, because that takes too much time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first and highest level, and probably most important and or interesting to you guys.
Sorry, you might cut.
Yeah, you cut out there, bud.
Round and just kind of there. You will also notice that Heather doesn't seem to be much of a
Wait.
conversationalist.
Hold up. Can you rewind? Your mic cut out, and I guess you didn't hear us. We missed that first section.
Okay. That's funny that it was the first and most important part, and you didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire, let's say, hour or so that you guys are watching from your various vantage points and moving around the party, she is never more than a couple of feet from Heather. You will also notice that Heather doesn't seem to be much of a conversationalist, just kind of hanging back. If usually Misty, or somebody else addresses a question specifically to her, she will speak up. You can't really hear what they're talking about because, again, this is a bit of a party, and unless you guys want to get really close to try and overhear that, you guys kind of don't know what that is yet. She seems open to everybody. She'll move away around the little cliques and groups that have formed as people are talking about. But if at any time you saw somebody come up to her, she stops and has a conversation. Hugs, not handshakes. Lots of subtle touching. You know, it's like on your shoulder or something like that. Unless, and you will notice
What race is Misty?
She is a dryad. So she is an elf meta variant.
That'd be an interesting hug there for me.
I guess she wouldn't necessarily, because there are a couple of trolls here. She doesn't really go in for hugs on the trolls unless the trolls stoop, because she doesn't want to be too forward. And there's a couple of people who shy away from some of the touching, so she doesn't follow up on that. You'll notice like she'll go for the one like arm on their shoulder while they're having a conversation, and then if you see them pull away, the hand goes away and doesn't do anything. You don't see a whole lot of non-conversation communication between Heather and Misty. They don't like stop somewhere, grab a drink, and have a conversation or talk about anything. There'll be a couple of times where they'll be sitting there in what looks like silence while they're waiting for somebody to get a drink or just eating a couple of pieces of fruit or some vegetables. Here's where you guys get to ask a whole bunch of questions.
What race is Heather?
She looks like an orc, but she's got a
She's
little
an
bit of a greenish kind of. It's either body paint or an actual like greenish tint to her skin. Kind of hard to tell from the distances you guys are seeing them at without getting a little bit more aggressive.
Okay, there's something I want to ask.
Sure.
Since I'm the only one who's awakened here, am I getting some special attention from people around Heather? I mean, Misty Day, Heather, or maybe any others? Do I feel like at some point I'm being sensed, or
Give
I'm
me
getting
a,
some special, yeah. Judge
Are
intentions, maybe?
you? Let me ask you this: Are you just engaging in random conversations with people, so that like you're
No,
having a
no,
conversation with this person and just kind of staring down this other person?
no. Well, first because I'm aware that I'm a naked Russian,
Co-
ex-Russian mob
Covered in
guy
tattoos.
here. Yeah, covered in tattoos that pretty much say what I am,
Uh-huh.
and as any Shadowrunner, I might have a few scars that show, and well, I know that I'm pretty sure I'm giving off the bad vibe already, so I don't
Sure.
want to spook anyone. And yeah, as I'm aware that I can't really hide what I am toward anyone.
I have stripped you
Maybe
down to
yeah,
rebuild you.
yeah. But the thing is, I'm gonna use that and yeah, move around and see who's looking at me and see if there are people that obviously are sensing me because they can see that I'm awakened. That's
Sure.
what I'm looking for.
Do you want to go ahead and give me a judge intentions roll, and I'll give you some additional information off of that rather than off of the perception hits. And
All
I'm out
right,
of my balcony, so if you could tell me how many hits you get, that'd be great.
2 hits.
2 hits. Um, so you will get. This is a very friendly atmosphere. You will get a couple of odd looks because you're not mingling, and you're kind of throwing down that, yeah, I'm bad. You will notice that there is one woman who is not an employee, who is who you catch looking at you on more than one occasion. Um, but she doesn't.
Is it because I'm dashing or because she's kind of scared that?
Sadly, with 2 hits on the judge intentions, you can't really tell. I'm sure you think it's because you're dangerous, you're tall, dark, handsome, mysterious.
All right. Yeah, that
Um,
was bad.
but
I mean, that's
like
my best skill.
catching
That was bad.
anybody like outwardly, just straight up sensing you, um, you don't see anybody just like giving you the mage eyes.
All
Um,
right.
so on the well, let me also ask you this before we get back into some of those questions. Ike and Grog, are you mingling, or are you just trying to be, you know, sour blankets
No,
or
I'm
sour
not trying to
tails,
be
as the
a
case may
sour.
be?
I'm not going to be sour sheet for me. Yeah. No, I'll mingle around a little bit, keep an eye on, see what's going on, who's doing what.
Okay. Um. So
Follow
yeah,
the crowd to keep up with Misty.
sure. Um. What else would you guys like to know about her activities throughout the rest of the evening?
Is she paying special attention to anybody specific? Like, does she seem like she's on a schedule? Does she seem like overly worried or concerned about, this, that, or the other? What's going on? You know what I mean?
It
Is she? I
doesn't
mean,
seem like right now there's any kind of like schedule. You will notice that the tone of conversation takes a little bit of a like her body language changes a little bit when it's somebody who you recognize as being one of the employees from earlier coming up to her, and they'll just have like a real quick conversation about something. There is an older gentleman who let's just make him a human. We're talking way more salt than pepper.
Bamce, you're cutting out again, buddy.
Yeah.
Whoop.
And just that one way, I guess.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bam's is cutting out.
I'll get off the balcony.
It was like a lot of static, and then it just all of a sudden you stopped.
Yeah, I'll stay off the balcony. My bad. Where did I cut out at? What was the last part that you guys got clearly?
Human, salt and pepper hair. That's about it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sort of.
Um, he's in a wheelchair. His towel is not providing modesty. It is draped like over the um, armrest, and she spends a little bit longer conversation with him, and he has some kind of attendant with him. They're just kind of polite smiles. but they stand like back and to the left of the wheelchair.
I can't hear anything.
Sure. I'm gonna pop back over to the dwarf for a moment. Did you come up with more questions you wanted to ask for your giant pile of hits?
Yes.
All right, hit me.
All right. The first one is if he had anything built for Misty that was special, aside from her room and where she lives. Is there like a room that she specifically requested, or is there like a special room, maybe like an office or somewhere that she spends most or a lot of her time in?
There's a what should we call it? He'll kind of do that fake quiet, like he's telling you a secret thing, as his cheeks get redder and redder throughout the course of your conversation. Um, and he will let you guys know that if you go through the surrounding foliage, like back behind, it's like directly opposite where you guys came in. Um, we'll say about 50 feet. There is the production. That's where they hide where they prepare all the food. That's where the greenhouse type things are, where they grow a lot of the stuff, the little bit of farmland that they have going on back there. The This out here is all smoke and mirrors and distraction. Back there is where it gets a lot more industrial, a lot more business.
Okay. Does he spend a lot of time with with Misty, or is he like?
Not so much recently. Now he does. He's got like two of the guys um, that he mentions from. He doesn't give them your names, but he's got like he mentions like, oh, I got two of her guys that help me do maintenance around the resort. It's most of my time nowadays are spent working on plans for different ways to adapt what we have learned here for other climates and regions and that kind of thing. I have some wonderful designs, blueprints, floor plans back in my hut if you know, if you want to come over and see them.
Is this aimed at both of us or just to Katie?
So for the most part, unless the Sultan has made himself injecting himself into the conversation, he has more or less ignored the Sultan. And every time he has come, it has usually come with some kind of bow and uh, thinner and thinner veiled, like, yeah, okay, whatever, you're crazy, that's fine.
Uh,
He very clearly, by like the fifth drink, doesn't think you're royalty.
I mean, sure.
well, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not
Uh,
wrong.
Yeah. Katie would love to see the blueprints.
All right.
Blueprints are always good. Especially if we start with the ones from this building so that Katie has an idea on what he wants to design afterwards.
Okay. So we're gonna let some of those hits fly, like unless you have other questions for him.
I mean, I wanted to know where
I-
my camels were.
Yeah, Tilt wanted to know where his camels were.
They are being taken. There's a small stable hidden behind the woods out by the front where they keep their camels and the carriage and stuff. They're almost assuredly being looked over there. And he'll turn to Katie. It's like I can get that checked out and make sure it's taken care of if you want in the morning. Just
I would love to. There's even a small camera for me. Maybe we can go look at it afterwards.
And he'll give it a bit of a chuckle. It's like, sure. He makes no small let's call it no.
It is obvious that he's into
he is
Katie.
inviting you back for Netflix and chill and then sex.
Oh yeah. How drunk is this guy?
I mean, he's had a lot to drink, but he's also a dwarf, so
No, that's what I mean. So he's not completely drunk, right?
no, he's not drunk out of his mind, but like
Okay, yeah.
he's probably a little tipsy.
Yeah, I'm willing to go back to his room. I have a plan.
Okay.
Katie comes up with plans.
Or maybe she just finds him attractive.
I mean, he's not unattractive if you're into his slightly weird facial hair.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I mean, he is naked.
So is Katie.
If they're gonna leave, can we just assume that Tilt just tries to give the smolder to whoever's gonna let him give them the smolder? For the rest of the night. He's done his job.
Well, I don't plan on sleeping with him yet. Katie is not a one night stand type of girl. I want to lead him on.
So
He's going to be a very good ally, very good friend.
What would you like to roll to avoid his, like, he's not ridiculously aggressive, but like as you guys are sitting there talking about some of his things, he gets real close to you and like does the thing where he leans his hand on the back of your chair to reach in front of you to kind of point at things. And I'm not going to go into much more depth because it gets weird.
It gets weird.
Yeah, I've only known you for like 3 weeks. I'm not sure I'm, comfortable hitting on you right now.
Don't worry, man. We're all dwarves here. I don't know. Jesus. Escape artist.
I mean, he could have handcuffs somewhere. He's a privileged employee.
Oh no! Like I said, I am going back to his room. I will.
Right.
I want to look at those blueprints.
Right, and you guys got like 6 hits. You got a bit of information, and the rest of those hits are going forward to you having a bit of a conversation about structural engineering and building stuff. And somewhere through the night, you will be able to convince him into showing you, at the very least, the blueprints for the place.
Yes.
But you don't have to. But if you come up with an interesting way of leading him on without just being like, yeah, nah, sorry, bro, I got your blueprints. That's all I wanted.
No, that's fine.
I got your blueprints and you're blue balled.
Oh,
I mean,
Nice one.
there is a good segue here that you can use. You realize that, right? It's called bondage.
Yikes.
I'm just throwing that out there because you've all seen the crime scene shows where there's always that one guy that's plastered drunk, that's tied to the bedposts and does not know what happened. A little more alcohol.
You can just penguin the guy, I mean.
No, that's fine. We could just fade to black, and we can see how your relationship builds in the future, because we don't need to get graphic. I don't need to know that badly.
I really was going with Grog's idea, like just get him a little more drunk, tie him up to the bed, and then like keep feeding him alcohol and just be like, I will be right back. I will go into the bathroom for just a little while. Wait for him to go to fucking sleep and just be like, the next is like, oh yeah, last night was awesome. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Because
Okay,
it was
go with
amazing.
that. And then the next time you go to interact with him, we'll have a dice roll to see how well that went.
Okay.
oh,
Oh boy.
We'll just kind of put that in the pocket for now. But you have gotten a look at the blueprint for this and the production area.
Okay.
And, this is probably the rest of you guys would be able to get back together. Katie is obviously indisposed.
Yes.
Did we notice her saunter? Oh, I guess still did.
Tilt
Never
was
mind.
there. I'm sorry, the Sultan was there.
Tilt will let everybody know what is going down. Jesus. I don't think that's a good thing.
I mean, that girl deserves a bonus for sure.
I guess.
Taking one for the team. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
You
Yeah,
know what?
it is.
You know what? I take it back. Katie will go and. No, actually, I think it's better if I just don't. Not yet.
You can decide next time you go to talk to him. We'll decide what happened there because until that
Yeah.
moment, it won't really matter.
Because we were discussing with we don't know if Misty is into dudes or chicks. We don't want to ruin any chances.
So,
Mm.
night will fall, and well, I guess continue falling, and you guys can all go back to your little huts. Tilt and Ike ended up in their own like different set of little bungalows that are linked together. Um, you don't hear a whole lot of noises. There is no gunfire or cars
Must be
honking
super
or
weird.
that kind of stuff going on. That wonderful city noise is, for like the third night in a row, completely absent. And here, there is even less noise because there's nothing going around. Um,
Oh boy.
do you guys just want to go to breakfast and then meet up, or do you guys want to get together that night to talk about some things, minus Katie?
Yeah. I mean, I guess since Katie's not really actually sleeping with the dude, she can get back to her room like at very early hours in the morning.
Slink back in as though you were like, no, Mom, I was here all night.
Yep. Yeah, kind of like. I mean, I was here all night, but more like. I'm out and I got intel, boys. Everybody should wake the fuck up.
Sure, we could do that after breakfast because otherwise, you're gonna have to go around in the middle of the night, unless you guys want to.
That's true.
It's just easier to be the next morning. It is now Sunday morning. Breakfast is served kind of buffet
Yeah, that's
style
fine.
again, like the night before. Most of the stuff from it is still set up.
It's time for naked yoga.
I mean, that is usually at about 9 o'clock in the morning. You can do your own yoga though, but
Oh, I already have my own naked yoga routine. Don't
excellent.
worry.
God, I'm instantly more disturbed.
Yep.
But you guys are free to have breakfast, mingle, and then perhaps plot with some of the new information that you have gained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your spa, massage, cucumber oil, whatever, is in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Okay.
Yeah. You have all morning. There is some yoga going on. There's a little bit of beach volleyball. There's some disc golf. It's not like a very big course, but there's 5 or so that they have set up that go around some of the buildings here. Pottery.
Pottery.
Yeah, tilts into pottery.
There's totally a cooking class, so you guys could theoretically steal some knives. It's really any kind of that resort hippie bullshit stuff you guys want to do can totally be here. So it is
Well-
really on you guys as to what you want to do in this situation.
I would legitimately go
Naked
and get
yoga,
some cooking
naked ping
classes.
pong.
You could ask about extra, like, you're not
And
going to
then,
get,
yeah,
let's
we
say,
need to figure out-
jazz or nitro, but you could probably get some deep weed or other more organic drugs
Ooh, deep weed.
because it's organic. And you're in the middle of nowhere, so who cares if it's forbidden?
We need to start figuring out how we're going to get Misty out, period. Get into her and get her out.
I have a pen full of game of scopeline, and I have camels that can run 40 miles an hour.
Did you look up and see how fast camels can run?
They're faster than horses.
They are, especially in the desert.
How about
I
that?
didn't even have to
That
look
is a
those things
fact.
up.
You
You should
didn't
just
The
think
way
they
I
do.
see it is. What?
The only thing I know about camels is that they are the animal that have the most regular steps of the animal kingdom.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I wonder if that's
Yeah,
because of
that's
the
it. I
sand and how
learned.
unnatural or how unbalanced sand is.
I don't know, but thing
Yeah,
is,
that's
that's
why their
how
feet's small.
like 500 before. I can't remember when, but it was a Greek Greek librarian, who actually calculated the circumference of the Earth thanks to a camel and a stick.
That's crazy.
Using the shadow of a stick from two places in Egypt and a camel walking between the two sticks, he realized what was the circumference of the Earth if the Earth was round.
They had a lot of free time back then.
Thank you. That is amazing to know. Actually, I like that a lot.
That is, yeah.
This is gonna go great
wrong,
for.
He was wrong of like 500 kilometers, which is nothing.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Considering the size of Earth,
yeah, you guys can get back together and plot.
I want to ask Tilt if he wants to use the camels to either A, escape, or B, somehow go back to where our stuff is locked up. Because if we are gonna try to use them to escape to the airplane, there's a big problem.
Not all of us have to escape at the same time.
Yep.
Want to point that one out.
Oh, no, exactly. And Grog does not have a camel.
Grog does not need to run away in the middle of the night on a camel then.
Well, thing is, if we are being chased, we are going to be chased by things that can run faster than a camel. Trust me.
We want to not get chased. I think that would be ideal.
I mean, here's the thing about the camels. They're not necessarily about being chased. They're about just being away faster than you can be noticed.
We got to get to the plane. You know,
Yeah,
the plane's got to
that's-
land somewhere.
That's
Yeah,
my
I'm
point. You
just
don't want the
saying-
plane landing like right there because that wakes everyone up. So you get the camels. You put you take her. You put her on the back of a camel. 2 or 3 people go out to the thing. You're fine.
Thing is, I'm speaking from the magical point of view. I mean, there is absolutely no way that we can take her out physically. I mean, if we stun her or anything, and her spirits, bound spirits, won't notice. I mean, there's absolutely no way of this happening. We have.
Well,
I
it's-
mean, if
it's
we're
either
gonna
that or
assume
we
that,
talk
then we all
her.
just go get a knife and we just fight our way out. If we're gonna assume that there's nothing that can be done without them knowing,
The
there's
only
no
other thing
point
we
in
can
us
do
doing
is
it.
Convince her
I
to
mean-
leave with us. You know.
I mean,
could do that.
ever since we arrived here, I haven't cast a spell, and I'm actually really scared of doing that because the second I lift a finger and do some magic, I'm gonna trigger something off. I'm pretty sure of that.
I like that. Maybe we can make it so that...
Hey, Val.
Yep.
Since you are the more magically inclined individual, and this is something that you're stating you're stressed out about and you're worried about, we are at a resort. Why don't you see if they have a course or class or session on magical meditation, since we're in the middle of BFE, quite literally, with woods all around us, which is completely abnormal. I figure they would probably have something like that. And as a guest, typically they're going to cater to you.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
something you can reach out and actually find a little bit more information on, because, I don't do nothing with magic.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
pretty sure here I can get maybe some deep weed and get some guidance of
I'm not-
spirits around and get to know them or everything. But well, that would be a way to study the magical defenses of the place. Actually, you're right. That's what I'm going to do.
Exactly. I'm not talking about drugs. If we wanted drugs, I'll just go talk to one of the waiters.
Oh
or the
no,
guys at the front
I'm saying
desk.
deep weed because it's actually needed for me to perceive the astral. I have no means of perceiving the astral space.
Oh, do you need
myself.
some?
But with some deep weed, I can actually do that.
Do you need some?
Oh, to do that, yeah.
Okay. I'm now walking out of the room. I'm going to go to the front desk and find me some deep weed. Grog now has a mission that he feels he can actually accomplish. So
Get
he's
drugged.
going to go do that.
Okay. Grog will
I
leave
wanted
the
to
room.
say, I agree with Tilt. Maybe we don't need to actually force her out. Maybe we make something, we threaten her with something so heinous that she will leave with us. What if we
There's
do
very
something?
little I think we can threaten her with, though.
Really?
What if we blow up the
I know
hotel?
something. I know something that's quite a bit more devastating than even just blowing up the hotel, because you blow up the hotel, you're just blowing up the structure.
We burn
I
it
think,
down.
I think he meant burning
Exactly.
the entire resort
You start
down.
a fire. especially with the old boy saying that, it's a fire hazard on that section.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
Yeah,
that's just, me.
and also she's probably very strong. I mean, the spirits here are probably a lot of plant spirits, so that would hurt them a lot too.
Or something, we could use something to distract them, maybe cause a
But
diversion while we do this.
We have to be scared of combat spirits if she has some, and she probably have. I mean, it would make sense for her she doesn't have, and for druids it's beast spirits. So be prepared to be facing some kind of big monster. Since druids tend to bond a lot with the truer spirits of the place, expect a big scorpion or something.
So that's a plan that I like more than trying to bring her out. Maybe she can come semi-willingly. So
I'll tell you now, I already have a girlfriend. I'm not doing the whole, hey, just come with me thing like I did in the first session. Not doing it again.
Let's talk about whether or not that's a girlfriend situation. I don't think I'm ready for that kind of commitment. In addition, that just sounds uncomfortable without some kind of augmentation.
Hey, she has 4 arms. It's okay.
I am done. I'm out. GG, guys.
And with
Tell
that,
can try to use the smolder. I mean,
and with that, let's take a couple of minutes for you guys to kind of wrap your heads around this naked